A really important concept in U.S. immigration law that every foreign national should understand when they're here in an employment-based status is the difference between a visa stamp and an I-94 admission record. They both serve two distinct but important purposes when it comes to your authorized period of stay in the United States. So a visa stamp is issued by a U.S. consulate or embassy abroad, and it allows you to show up and travel to the United States in a particular status, like H-1B, L-1, an F-1 international student. And the type of visa allows you to come in and serve that purpose in the United States. It tells a Customs and Border Protection officer that you've been screened by the Department of State and you're permitted to show up and travel and request admission into the U.S. Note that that Customs and Border Protection officer has the last say. So just because someone has a valid visa stamp in their passport, it's technically not an absolute guarantee for entry. Now, when that individual is admitted into the U.S. and they are here, an electronic I-94 record of entry and departure is created. And this is issued by Customs and Border Protection immediately at your time of entry to the United States. It indicates the status category that you're admitted in, again, like H-1B, an L-1, or an F-1 international student, and it tells you how long you're permitted to stay in the United States. It'll have an expiration date. So this is the document that technically controls how long you can stay, not your visa stamp. It's really important to understand that distinction. If your I-94 record has a specific expiration date on it, and that happens to be earlier than your visa stamp in your passport, that I-94 controls. A good example of that might be the 10-year B1, B2 visa that's issued into passports, but that I-94 record will be limited to a 6-month period of stay. On the flip side, sometimes a visa stamp can expire, yet an I-94 record may remain valid beyond that expiration date. So the takeaway is whenever you enter the United States or re-enter the US after a short trip abroad, always double check your I-94 record. A new one is created each time you enter, and it's really important to know what that expiration date is so that you can either depart the United States by that time or file for an extension.